Hello friends and welcome back to my channel The Mumbai Museum. Today I am going to talk about the 4 Seiko watches that I have in my collection. Most of them are discontinued but they still have an important place in my collection. Seiko as a brand is probably known to all of us, whether you are into watches or whether you are not into watches. Everyone is aware of it. They are making watches since 1800s and they have been making the best watches and they have been giving those best watches at a very economical price. So there isn't much to be said about it. Bragging about it would be a mere repetition, as most of us are aware of what Seiko is. So let's get ahead and let's have a look at what we have today. Okay, so these are the 4 watches that we have. I'll start with this one. This is the Seiko SNZF11. The more popular version of this is the Seiko SNZF17, which is quite popular because it almost looks like a Rolex Submariner, so it's almost a clone to the Rolex Submariner. This one is in the white dial, and I like the white dial more because it's a very polar white dial. The black hands complement the dial very much. The R markers are very well loomed, and it has a date window which shows the day and date both. There's a rotating bezel on this, but mind you, this is not a diver's watch. This is a diver's style watch. It is a 100-meter water resistant watch, so you could wear it for swimming, but this is not a diver's piece. Quite thick, and it has got a display case back which shows the movement of the watch. The watch diameter is approximately 40 mm, and the crown is not really stamped, but in and all a very sturdy piece. You could wear it as a beater, you could wear it while you are playing any sports, or you're swimming in the pool. This will serve the purpose. Now the best part of this watch is that there is very little being said or talked about it. There's always a lot being talked about the Seiko SNZF17 because of its closeness or resemblance to the Rolex Submariner, but there is very little being said or being talked about. There are hardly any videos of this watch on the YouTube, and the funniest part is that if you go to Chrono24 and if you type the watch, you won't find it on Chrono24 also. So this is very rare. I didn't know much about this watch when I bought it. I was pretty much new to automatic watches then, and this was the first one, and if I think of selling it right now, I believe that I'll fetch almost double the price of what I bought it for, because it's simply not available anywhere, neither on the market, neither online. So that's very unusual of a Seiko watch, but that's what it is. The other one doesn't need much of an introduction to most of the watch lovers. I had shown this in my first video. This is the Seiko SKX009, the proper ISO certified diver at a very inexpensive price bracket, I would say. And it's an icon in its own sense. It's not really an icon, but a legend, I would say. Anybody and everybody who knows about watches and who's into a little bit of horology is aware of this particular model. I have seen divers who own expensive Swiss watches, even a Submariner. They would keep that watch aside and they would wear this, and they would take the plunge in the water, because you could just beat it up, and if it damages, you could just buy another one. Though they are discontinued now, so I'm not sure that how easy they are to procure, but I'm sure they are not very difficult to procure either. And this is a blue dial because this is a 009. Again, this is a 42 mm case, but somehow this appears a little bit smaller than the ZF17, maybe because the bezel on the ZF17 is slightly wider than the bezel on the SKX. They have a screw down crown at 4 o'clock, and there's a Japanese wave at the back. They don't have a display case back, and this is a 200-meter water resistant watch, day-date function, and unidirectional rotating bezel as well. This is aftermarket Jubilee bracelet. They do come on the Jubilee bracelet, or they do come on the rubber strap. But any which ways, there isn't much unsaid about this watch, and yeah, this is a keeper in my collection. Okay, I'll pick this one now. This is the Seiko SNKL23, the K version, which means it is made in Malaysia. You also have a J version, which means it's made in Japan, though the movement is same, the components are same, but there's one version made in Japan, one in Malaysia. The Japanese version has Japan written at the bottom. Now this happens to be more of a dress style of watch. It has got the dolphin hands and the stick arm markers, and the loom also is pretty good, I would say, as there's lots of dots on the edge of the dial. Again, the day-date function, and the dial texture is a bit of a dark black color in the center and a little bit grayish texture on the periphery. Quite a dressy piece, and it's small in diameter, approximately 38 mm if I'm not wrong. Again, display case back which shows the movement, crown at 4 o'clock, and quite thin watch. It came on a bracelet, but I removed it and put it on a leather strap, so it gives more of a dressy and more sophisticated look to it. And this watch was discontinued by Seiko, and it was in huge demand then, and then Seiko somehow brought it back again, so it's back on the market. I don't understand the logic behind the company why they would do that, but that is what has happened with this watch. And lastly, most of you might be aware, the Seiko SARB033. This is discontinued now, and I don't think there is any other Seiko that has come close to this watch as far as the value for money goes when they were available. I guess they discontinued it in 2018. This is a sapphire crystal. They have the dolphin hands, a display case back. The best part is they have a signed Seiko signed crown, again a thin watch, and again probably a 38 mm case diameter, so again a very dressy piece. This is an aftermarket bracelet that I have got, but they come on a oyster style bracelet, and this is a very dressy piece and very iconic. You must have heard TGV talking a lot about it on his channel. The stick markers, the stick arm markers make it look a very dressy kind of a piece, and this could be pretty much worn with a suit or maybe a dinner jacket, and you could wear it with a jeans and a t-shirt. I often do wear it with almost all the attire, and this has served me well. And the one unique thing about this watch is that since the time I've got it, I rotate all my watches, and I almost always gravitate to this piece and somehow can't get enough of it. The best part of this Seiko is that it has got a very uncanny resemblance to all the grand Seikos that are available in the market, and that makes it quite a unique. You don't get it at this price point. I was lucky to procure this, and once they have been discontinued, the price has skyrocketed, almost thrice of what the actual amount was, and maybe more if it's a new piece, so you're lucky to get a new or unused piece now. So that's it. Also, I'll give you a wristwatch check where I am sporting the Seiko SNZF11, which I was talking earlier, the more of submariner kind of a look, but a pretty durable piece, and serves the purpose. So friends, that was my 4-watch Seiko collection. Do let us know whether you collect any Seiko watches or any particular brand that you collect, and you have a collection of it, and we would love to know about it. Thank you and have a nice day.